So for about the past 7 seasons, or ever since the 2017-2018 season, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been averaging at minimum 27 points per game. 27 points per game. Let's see. 27 points per game, All NBA second team, All Star. 27 points per game, MVP. 30 points per game, MVP, DPOY, All NBA first team, All Defensive first team. 28, MVP, MVP fourth, DPOY fifth, NBA first team, defensive first team, all star. 30 again, NBA first team, defensive first team. 30 again, all NBA first team. 30 again, all NBA first team. 30 again, all NBA first team. He's averaged 30 for 3 years straight. And to be honest, I'm giving him four. I'm giving him four. I'm giving him four. And it's about to be five. And basically, what I'm trying to point out is Giannis Antetokounmpo has always been jumped. Every single year over the past 4 years, there has been somebody that is jumping Giannis in the player rankings. I want to make this clear. Giannis has already won an MVP. He has 2 MVPs. He has a Defensive Player of the Year. He has one of the greatest finals performances in NBA history, one of the greatest finals plays in NBA history. I know we all remember that recovery block on DeAndre Ayton in the lob to save the game. And he's been peaking as an offensive player over the past 3 seasons. How many players do you know peak as an offensive player after they've probably already won all the MVPs they're going to win in their career? Because to be completely honest, Giannis probably isn't winning another MVP. He's not going to win another Defensive Player of the Year. That MVP ship is probably sailed. That Defensive Player of the Year is definitely sailed. It's definitely sailed. He's still a really good defender, but he's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year ever again. He's not going to win it. And yet, and somehow, it feels like Giannis has to drop 45 points, or for example, 37 points and 20 rebounds to get some recognition. I remember I made a video about basically this same Bucks team last year when Damian Lillard got hurt. And the way they were using Giannis was the best way you can possibly use Giannis if he does not have any all-star caliber players around him. And we saw this from Nikola Jokic a few seasons ago, and now we're seeing it with Giannis Antetokounmpo, where it's not hard to generate good looks if you're Giannis, if you're Jokic, because they live in a certain area, or themselves create so much gravity that they create efficient looks just by being on the floor. And what I mean by that is Giannis is a freight train. He's the greatest transition player the league has ever seen. Yes, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. I still think Steph is underrated as a transition player, but we're not going to talk about that. I think Giannis Antetokounmpo creates the easiest three-point shots in the league. He creates the most wide-open three-point attempts in the league. And it's because when he gets the ball out of transition, or he gets the ball off the rebound, he heads straight into transition, there are 3 to 4 players that have to build a wall at the half-court line to stop him, because once he passes half court, it only takes 1 or 2 dribbles to get to the rim. And if you have 2 shooters filling the lanes properly and going straight to the corners, how do you guard that? The Milwaukee Bucks have constantly been top 10 in transition points per possession year after year after year after year after year, or points per 100 possession. Let me get that right. They've been consistently top 10 in points per 100 possessions in transition over the past 8 years. I think it was 1 year where they were outside the top 10. And these haven't been teams that have been known for transition. Like, this isn't a full unit that's great at transition. This is just one player. Because last time I checked, Brook Lopez wasn't getting up and down the floor in transition. But back to what I was talking about with the lineups and how we knew that Giannis was going to have a crazy season and the Bucks were going to be a really good regular season team. Now, it's only 4 games into the regular season. They just beat the New York Knicks in a really good win, by the way. I think Giannis Antetokounmpo played his ass off. He's had a great motor all season. They come into the NBA season. They beat the Washington Wizards. Whoop-de-doo, you beat the Wizards. Okay, great. You beat the Toronto Raptors, who I think have been very interesting defensively. Giannis has 37 and 20. Then you lose to the Cleveland Cavaliers. 100%, I understand that. The Cleveland Cavaliers are my pick to go to the finals once they get healthy. Haven't not liked how they looked so far, but that's another topic for another day. And then you beat the New York Knicks, who were whooping y'all ass in the first half. Let's just be honest. While everybody outside of Giannis just looked like they were disengaged. Ryan Rollins had a really good game. Cole Anthony had a really good game off the bench as well, but there was just way too many easy buckets. Mikal Bridges was pushing people around. OG Anunoby was pushing people around. Jalen Brunson was getting to the free throw line. They were rebounding. It was nothing the Bucks could do. And then offensively, it was just Giannis. Three ball, Giannis. And I want to talk about how Giannis is being used in the lineup, because I think that's very important. Right now, the Milwaukee Bucks are top 10 in offense. They're one of the most efficient three-point shooting teams in the league, shooting 39% on 38 attempts a game. That's really good. How long is that going to hold up throughout the regular season? Who knows? But right now, I think that is the formula for the Bucks to be a top 10 offense and win 48 to 51 games in the regular season. And we all know Giannis's game. Giannis is head down, downhill, best downhill athlete in the league, best transition athlete in the league, best transition player of all time. He lives at the rim. Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to get to the rim. And there is not one player that can stop Giannis Antetokounmpo when he has a head of steam. So what does Doc Rivers decide to do? Hey, we're going to set a screen for Giannis Antetokounmpo at the half-court line. We're going to set a screen for Giannis Antetokounmpo at the half-court line. They do that shit for Steph. But Giannis getting all the way to the restricted area. And once he builds that head of steam and gets downhill, now there's AJ Green open in the corner. Now there's Gary Trent open in the corner. Now there's Ryan Rollins open in the corner. Now there's Miles Turner, who's also a very good three-point shooting big, trailing the play. Now what do? Do you send the 3 to 4 bodies at Giannis heading downhill to the rim? Or do you guard the 38+% three-point shooters in the corner? That's why the Bucks offense is going to be really good in the regular season. That's why I think Giannis has a real run at the MVP. And I feel as though Giannis and Luka were being disrespected to start the season, because I really heard conversations that Jokic and SGA are going to play at the very top, and it's not going to be close. And I want to focus on that. I want to focus on that because I feel like that was the narrative coming into the season, that Jokic and SGA are going to play at a level that makes them the two heavyweight MVP candidates undoubtedly. And I don't think that's the case. I think the only thing that would separate Jokic and SGA from the rest of the pack, which is Luka, Giannis, Wemby, not in order, of course, is team wins. That's the only thing. I think that is the only separation. Because if you ask me, Luka has been up there with SGA so far this season, and Giannis has been up there with Jokic so far this season. And it's always been like that. It's always been like that. And I'm really interested to see, like, when Giannis is all said and done, when are they going to say is Giannis's peak? Because so far, I've been hearing a lot of 2019 to 2021 peak conversations for Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's just because that's the best he ever was defensively, and he was also still really good offensively. I don't think we can just discount what Giannis is doing as an offensive player over the past few seasons. Giannis is a legit, really good passer now. He's a really good passer. He can make interior passes. He can make kick-out passes. He can make skip passes. He can play the pick and roll with Miles Turner. Giannis is a legit passer now. Also he had the little free throw, mid-range run last season in the regular season. We give him that. Giannis is the best transition player of all time. He's one of the biggest downhill threats of all time. And now he's one of the best passers at his position. This is somebody that can be fringe top 10 offensive peak of all time. 2023 to 2025 could be a top 10 offensive peak that Giannis Antetokounmpo is putting out this season. This season. From 23-24, 24-25, 25-26. Hell, 2022-2023, 23-24, 24-25, 25-26. That stretch or this stretch that we've seen from Giannis, you could argue is a top 10 offensive peak of all time. I really think you can make that argument. And I think a lot of people kind of discredit Giannis because we just haven't seen it. We haven't seen it in the postseason. We are going on 3 years where Giannis has not seen the second round. The last time Giannis has seen the second round was 2022. No Chris Middleton. They lose to the Celtics in 7 games. I think Grant Williams had that really big game 7, or was it game 6? I really don't remember. And if you ask me, they're not going to see the second round this year. This Giannis is really good. He's not taking this team to the second round. He might, because why not? Atlanta and Orlando are playing like shit. But I feel like over the past few years, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been playing at top 10 peak offensive peak levels, and people are just saying, "Oh, this Shea guy is better," or "Oh, this Embiid guy is better," or "This Luka guy is better." And I think it's more of a conversation. Like, I definitely think you can debate SGA over Giannis. I definitely think you can make the argument that Luka's over Giannis. You can make the argument that Jokic is over Giannis. But I just don't like how people are so comfortable taking those guys over Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it kind of sucks that he has to drop 36 points per game on a really bad team outside of him to kind of get that credit that he's been deserving for the past 8 years. In the comment section, I want you guys to let me know, why do you guys think Giannis is kind of like the afterthought? Why is Giannis the afterthought in these superstar conversations? Because he doesn't get talked about to the level SGA gets talked about. He doesn't get talked about to the level Luka gets talked about. He doesn't get talked about to the level Jokic gets talked about. Because I was watching Players' Choice and they were making this argument that Giannis is the best player in the world, and there were a lot of things that I think there was a lot of really good arguments that Mars and Real Talk were making when they say Giannis is the best transition player in the world. What's the most efficient form of offense? Transition play. Giannis gives elite level rim pressure. Giannis creates the most wide open threes in the NBA. All that stuff is really good. Like, Giannis, people look at Giannis's 30 points per game and say, hey, this is just somebody who's really big and really strong and can get to the rim. No, this is somebody that can play in the post. This is somebody that can play in the pick and roll as a ball handler and a roll man. This is somebody that can find cutters, make interior passes, make lob passes, make skip passes. And when he gets the rebound, mind you, he's getting 12 of those a game. He's getting 12 of those a game. If he says, you know what, I want to run, it's 2 points. It's 2 points. It's no point of getting back. It's no point of getting back. So let me know what you guys think about Giannis.